Welcome back, crew, to lesson 7 of our Scratch class. In this lesson, we are going to learn about the pen, we will learn about the stamp, and we'll see a bunch of clever things you can do with these Scratch features. Let's be clever. Let's start with the pen. And the pen, as you might guess, lets your sprite draw on the stage, thusly. Imagine your sprite, and it's made out of clay. And you take a little bit of local anesthesia and you put it right on the stomach and reassure the sprite that this isn't going to hurt a bit. Then you take a pen and you plunge it through the center of the sprite. Then, when you move the sprite around, look, it draws. It draws on the thing. And so, they call that putting the pen down. Then, you can say pen up. You pull the pen out, you move the sprite around, and it doesn't draw anymore. Now that Scratchy is patched up, let's get a little preview of the pen program that we're going to write. And let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get to it. Okay, guys. Let's do it. Let us start by hitting the Create button to create our pen drippy thingy thing. Create, create, create. Going slow. Okay, here we go. Creating project. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is add the pen extension because we need the pen extension. Boom. There we go. That didn't cost nothing. Doesn't cost a ding-dang thing. Now, we are going to do the thing we always do. We respond to the when something clicked event because that's how the program starts. I'm going to zoom in a little bit to see the code. Good or will, possibly. Now, here is the strategy. I believe we are going to have this sprite clone itself, and each time it becomes a clone, we're going to say it is a drip. And so it'll clone itself and then go down the screen, leaving a trail with the pen. And then it'll clone itself in a different spot and leave a trail with the pen. So we only need one sprite, and we're just going to keep cloning. So let's start with that. We go to, I believe it's under control. There we go. Under control, there is create a clone of myself. I like it. Now, when I start as a clone, we just talked about this very briefly. We're going to go to the top of the screen and we're going to choose a random position at the top of the screen. So let's go to motion and say go to XY. Now, let's think for a moment. The X, we know that X goes from negative 240 to positive 240, even though, yeah, I'm not quite seeing that, but I just know it does. Look, negative 180, negative 217. Yeah, good enough. But I've looked it up before, and we had a whole class on this stuff. So let's go to a random position along the X-axis using pick random number, and we'll go negative 240 to 240. Negative 240 to positive 240. And then the top of this stage is, I almost said screen, the top of the stage is positive 180. Let's put positive 180 in there. And then let's see what we need to do next. I think we need to slide down the screen. So I'm going to do that with a repeat until loop. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to repeat a change y by a little bit. And I'm going to keep repeating that change y by a little bit until the y is at the bottom of the screen. So I'm going to ask this question using the operator. I'm going to say, when something is less than something, and that something on the left is going to be, if I go to motion, when my y position is less than, I'm going to repeat until my y position is less than negative, 170. That's near the bottom of the screen. And I need to do the thing where I'm changing my y position by not positive 10, but negative 10. That will make me walk down the screen. Let's try it. Let's see how we did. And go. Yes. Now, let's run again. I think I want to do something. I want to be a good citizen, and I am going to delete the sprite after the drip is complete, when it hits the bottom of the screen. Because if you don't delete the sprite and you endlessly create sprites, I don't know what Scratch does. Scratch will, I think at some point, it used to get bogged down and just got slower and slower, and I think now there's a limit to how many sprites it creates. And so, we don't need the sprite after it's done, so let's get rid of it. Now, it is very much not drawing. That's how much I saw. Let's put the pen down. Let's then see what happens. First thing, we'll say, oh, you know what? I don't want to put the pen down right away. I'm going to put the pen down after the go to. And let's see what happens. Would you look at that? We drew a line. It was a very thin line, disappointingly thin. So let's change the pen size to 40. 40 is a great size. 40. Yeah. Okay, now, let's create a whole bunch of drips. It's going to be easy. Let's just go back to when the green flag is clicked. Let's do a forever create clones of myself. And each clone's going to be a drip and going to shoot down the screen. Ha ha ha! Oh my god, it's going too fast. I laughed. I did. It was okay. Let's go. Let's put a little delay in, shall we? How do you feel about 0.5 seconds between drips? I did find that funny. I don't know. It surprised me. But, it is drawing, but this whole screen is blue. It's just drawing blue over blue, so we're not really seeing it. Let's go back to the pen, and I think we should erase everything. Start with a clean canvas. And it's looking good. But remember, actually, do you remember how the colors were changing in the little preview? Let us do the set pen color. And I'm going to pick a random number between 1 and 10. Now, I don't know for sure what 1 translates to. If 1 means red and 2 means reddish orange and blah, blah, blah. And 1 and 3 means reddish orangey orange. But what I'm going to do is just try 1 to 10 and just see what it looks like. And if we're happy, we're happy. And I'm happy. Yeah, it's not bad. We could do 1 to 20 as an experiment. Let's see what happens. 1 to 20. Yes, great. Okay, now, I actually liked 1 to 10 better. Okay, I believe there's another thing. I don't want to see Scratchy all the time. I just want to see the drips. And under looks, let's just hide Scratchy right from the start. And I believe we'll be in good shape if we do that. Hide. Now, I'm going to do one more thing, even though I didn't see it as a problem. But I'm going to make the pen go up right away before I do the go to X at the top, because I don't want him to be drawing. If he happens to be created somewhere around, I don't know, in the middle of the screen, and then he goes up, I don't want the pen to be dragging. So I'm going to be explicit and say, keep the pen up until you're in your spot at the top, and then put the pen down. And, I want to do one more thing, even though it already looks awesome. Let's do this. I'm going to put in a little weight right in here. And the reason I'm going to put this little weight in, even though it was looking pretty good, is because what if you had a super fast computer and it was so fast and we didn't explicitly put in a weight, then it would just look like these lines appearing. You wouldn't even see it drawing. And I made that mistake once on this old program, and I feel sick about it. I had this old computer and it was going slow, and I didn't put any weight in this program. And then we released these DVDs, and they were out in the world, and people were playing the game, and the part that I wanted to have animated was running on faster people's computers, and it was like, shoop, and it happened immediately, and they didn't see the animation, and I just clapped my hands really loud for some reason. Now, watch this. Let's hit play, And we are heroes. We did it. That's the end of this program. It's awesome. I stammered, but it's awesome. And you're not bad yourself. I think you guys know what it's time for. It's time for Geek of the Week. Have you ever noticed there's this huge ball of fire? It appears in the sky every day. Well, so did Cecilia Payne-Gaposchkin, our Geek of the Week. But unlike me, when I noticed it, she asked the question. She said, what is the sun made out of? And she said, what the heck is the entire Milky Way made out of? Even more unlike me, she had the ability to answer these questions. She figured out the stars were made mostly of hydrogen and helium. The man scientists of her day said her hydrogen theory about the sun was wrong, even though she was the opposite of wrong, and they were the full embodiment of wrong. And one of these ardent naysayers came out 4 years after Payne with a paper saying that what she had been saying all along was right, but he said it in his own words, and the other man scientists were like, whoa, man scientist, we're really impressed. So if you're going to remember a single name here, it's Cecilia Payne-Gaposchkin, if I pronounced it right. Cecilia is not with us any longer. She died in 1979, which means she would have been around to see Star Wars when it first came out in 1977. Okay, are you guys ready for a preview of the next thing that we're going to do, which is we're going to use the stamp. We're going to use the stamp to make a little spray paint program, and it's going to look like this. Okay, it's time for me to narrate the programming that I did to make this stamp program. Let us take a look, and let's get this rolling. Okay, let us start by hitting the Create button, because how else are you going to get started? Okay, Ted, click the Create button. Do it, do it. Good job. I don't know why I'm hovering over the new project. Looks like I'm just waiting. Create, good. Now, I think, if I remember, I went to the stage and I made it black, like you saw in the preview. Okay, so I set the brightness down to nothing. I think I put a big rectangle on it. That's good. All right, covers the whole stage. It's black. Now, in order to do the stamp is really going to be it's just that it stamps the sprite. Whatever the image of the sprite is, it's going to leave that copy of that image on the desktop, like a stamp. So I'm going to make a new stamp. I deleted the costumes. I'm making a new stamp that looks a little bit like the spray from a spray can, where the dots are like more clustered in the center, a little bit denser, and they get a little bit more spread out. So yeah, I'm kind of glancing over at the stage at the same time as drawing this, so seeing if it looks spray painty. And it looks like I'm drawing. And it looks like I'm drawing more dots, and it's getting a little dull. It's a little boring to watch. It's like getting more boring. Oh my God, Ted, what are you doing? Just finish it. How many dots do you need? I wonder if I have like a disorder of some sort. Like, why am I spending so much time on this? Okay, oh, I'm done. Yay! Now, that looks a little bit like a spray cluster. Let's do what we always do. Start with the green flag clicked thing. Zoom to the proper level. As always, brilliant zooming. Then, nice centering also. I believe we should erase. Oh, no. We got to bring in the pen module. Okay, then we should erase the stage in case there was a drawing left over from last time we ran. Okay, we're going to send the sprite to a random position on the stage. So it's just going to be autonomous. It's going to run on its own. And we'll run forever. So we do a forever loop. And we're just going to paint forever. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn just a small random amount. Or possibly a big random amount. It looks like if I made 0 to 360, which looks like I'm about to, I did. So, okay, it could point any direction, and that will actually rotate the image on the sprite, which is good because it'll make the splatter seem a little different with each rotation. So I turn and then I move 20 steps, which is going to make this guy just wander around. If I'm on the edge, I bounce, which I like. That kind of keeps me on the stage so I don't get stuck. I think I just need to stamp every time I move, and it will leave a trail of this pattern, this spray pattern. I put in the weight. I always put in a little bit of a weight so I can control the speed. And let's run this sucker. This is so simple. How about that? There's not much to this, and it's kind of satisfying. I think the next thing is we just got to make the color kind of evolve, and that is easy also. Just use the change color thingy. You just change the color effect, and that's going to just morph the color a little bit, and boom. Oh my golly, that was easy. I don't even know if I can brag about how smart we are. Yeah, let's brag. We are smart. Take that, everybody who didn't do this. You're not smart. We're smart. That was so simple and so satisfying. And it's a stamp. Well, another job well done. Look at that. Huh. Let's be programmers. Let's do this for a living. Okay, crew. That's it, really. Thanks for coming, as always. I do like that you come and visit. You know what I'm going to leave you with? I'll leave you with this crazy pen program that I made. It was actually a little complicated to make, but take a look. Fun. Bye.